Greetings, fellow Jotun blood collectors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to ASKA, episode 22, Summoning in New Villagers. Can you whitelist a cart? I believe you can. Settlement storage, or rather... Let's see. I've never tried to do it before, but I imagine it's possible. Vehicles, cart... Yes. Yeah. I can... There. I just blacklisted everyone from using the cart. So here, no one's allowed to use it. So it's my cart. Ha! Good call. I hadn't even thought of that. And now they won't grab it from me. Okay, we don't have any stored beams. Our carpenter that we have hired has almost high enough carpentry to carpenter one draw per... And that's when their, like, efficiency doubles, right? No, don't touch that. Hopefully, he'll start to just stock logs. Yes, that's what he's doing. Good, good, good. Yes, keep doing that, man. No! He's making shafts, that's fine. As long as he's not taking the horse from me, I don't care. And it does look like Bryzit has sourced a large stone, because there was 2 large stones needed for the house, and now there's only 1. So that new pick is, going to good work. And we're almost done with the brunt of the... I'm gonna steal this from him. Yup! Yoink! We're almost done with the brunt of the grunt work for the longhouse, which is good. He keeps delivering. He keeps delivering the hardwood long sticks to try to make shafts, and I just yoink it out from under him, turning it into beams, because we need the beams. Now I know when the cart's in a random spot, it's my fault. Exactly. Only myself to blame. Yoink! He keeps going over to the... and it's like, wait, where'd the beam go? Where'd the beam go? Yep. I'm gonna rename you Sisyphus. Instead of pushing stones, you push logs, but still. Same sort of purgatorial punishment. Okay. There we go. All beams made. Look, guys, I'm driving a beamer. That's why I don't use my turn signals. Come on, hammer, break. Break, hammer, break. Dang it. It did not break. So we need 8 more beams, and do we have the nails? No. We have 3 out of the 4 nails we need. So I'll need I know I need to make the nails. What's annoying is my hammer is inevitably gonna break, like, in the middle of smithing. Because it's almost broken now. We might have the thatch from all of the beds I broke down already, but that means that they're just going to be able to deliver it themselves. So if I'm making a new batch of metal for the nails, might as well do a full batch. And to that end, I need to go fish up some charcoal. Have a spare wood hammer for this scenario? Yes, I should pick up a hammer. Because if it breaks in the middle of forging and it cools, I get screwed. And that's a bad situation to be in, because if you're doing the forging process, you like lose all progress of your ingots, which sucks. Yeah, the roofs are absolutely clipping into one another building. I don't think it's actually going to block anyone's walking, but it's going to look goofy. Provided I don't go in those longhouses. I don't plan on hanging out in other people's houses, so I don't think it will ultimately matter that much. We'll just ignore the fact that they're clipped in. All right. I think what I'll do is I'll make like 25 nails, so I don't have to keep piecemealing the nails for a bit, and then keep some of the blooms left over. Possibly for like a sword or something. It is pretty handy to have like a spare, when you have militia, to have a spare bow or a spare sword at all times, so that they can swap to it, so that they can continue training even if they break their primary tool. Does look like we didn't have enough thatch unless they haven't delivered it yet, because we're at 14, so they delivered, what, 11? We had more than 11 thatch, didn't we? Maybe we didn't. Come on. Finish up. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. So for reference, that yellow bar right underneath wood anvil, blooms are consolidated here, is the bloom processing bar. And when that decreases all the way, the bloom is ruined. Basically, you did not hammer it in time. Which is why I do these works myself, because if you assign this work to an NPC, and they, like, take a break in the middle of the process, you can lose a bloom. And the only way to avoid that is to make sure that you have, like, 2 people with overlapping shifts or something like that, which we don't really have the manpower yet, so that's why I've been managing this myself. All right. I do want to fix my hammer. Oh, we don't have a shaft? Wait, for real? Because it's all on storage. That's the other problem of having the storage is that all the shafts will be removed and placed elsewhere. So anytime you need to just quickly fix a tool, you're like crap out of luck because you have to go fetch one. Oh well. Maybe I could eke out 9 iron? Maybe? What is this, golf? Well, I think we're probably Scandinavian Vikings, not Scottish ones. Alright, big old batch of nails. And I'm gonna go fill up the quenching trough before I forget. I am surprised they haven't done any more of the beams. I think what's happening is I need to prioritize beams over everything else. I thought I had, but it seems to me like they're just failing up some other carpentry requirement and ignoring beams. Unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, there's no beams here. What have you been making? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's my fault. Beams at the top. And that's gonna have to wait because I have a bit of defending to do. So this time around, hopefully, I won't lose anyone. So let's grab the smoker horn so that I can summon in backup if and when I need it. Probably won't need it though. Oh, they're already destroying stuff. Shoot. I'm coming! Oh, nice. It was Azaroon. Which is why Azaroon is not hurt compared to someone else that would have been worked over pretty hard by a Draugr. Are you training? Oh, yeah, okay. What is your melee skill now? 8? I wish there was time at the start of Blood Moons to, like, crank up one of the runestones. But you kind of need someone working there ahead of time to gain the benefit, because it's, like, too late now to really start runestoning. Because, that's a really effective... Oh, there you guys are. That's a really effective way of grinding melee XP. Come on, big man. That might have been my first Draugr Bruiser, or Berserker. trolling, waiting for the next one. One thing I can't say enough is that those enemies will tear down your buildings within a minute or two if you aren't physically defending them. I just mentioned this because it's really frustrating to lose an entire building, and when they tear it down, you don't get a lot of refunds. Unlike deconstructing a building, once they've heavily damaged it, you don't get refunded for the structure very much. So, if you're getting Blood Moon attacked, make sure you're doing something about it. Because if you're not intervening, you could lose a huge swath of your colony very quickly. And that's where the advantage of walls comes in, because walls are relatively cheap to repair given their HP, and relatively cheap to build as well. There we go. How much melee do I have? Honestly, not much. I'm like, melee 6. I'm just heavy striking. Oh, he dropped a shield. Dips. The shields and weapons that the Draugrs drop suck. But since I literally didn't have a shield up until now, it's like better than nothing. Not that they're good. I think we have enough logs and stuff around. I'm gonna assign my woodcutters to start to clear the stumps. How do you keep warm in the winter? Running around gathering? Wear good clothing. It's as simple as that. If you wear insulated clothing, you will be totally fine. For most of the time. So anything with high cold resistance. So linen capes, thick shirts, gloves, etc. That stuff will keep you nice and warm in the colder months. So I'll just focus on sourcing the remaining materials needed for the longhouse. How do I make the warehouse NPCs do stuff? You assign them to the warehouse and they're just goofing around. They need somewhere to store stuff. So make sure to have internal storages, because a warehouse without actual bins doesn't do anything. So by that I mean, go to the build menu, click storage, and put like some sort of storage down so that they can actually store stuff. Warehouses have nested storages that you lay out. That's how they work. If that's what you mean. Yes. So if your warehouse is empty and with no bins, it's just like a flat, empty building that doesn't do anything. Yeah. I actually really like that method. So that way you can custom tailor what kind of warehouse you want. So you can have like a warehouse next to your farm that stores seeds and vegetables. You can have a warehouse next to your carpentry that stores logs and carpentry materials. You know, you can design your warehouses to do exactly what you want them to do and lay it out in such a way that they're like convenient to interact with, because you have to interact with the individual bins to take and retrieve stuff. So for instance, my warehouse, I have all of the logs I need for carpentry right here. I have the softwood logs and the hardwood logs so that when they're well stocked, it's so easy for me to just whip through carpentry tasks, because carpentry is one of those things that you just need to do a bajillion of. But the game doesn't really go into detail about how the warehouses work. And then the other thing is you can set up your warehouse for whitelist and blacklist of like who can interact with it. So for instance, if you want to keep certain seeds or foods untouched, you can put them in a warehouse and remove access from all the NPCs. So for instance, if you want your own supply of onions as a healing item, you can set up a warehouse that you can set up a storage that like only the player has access to. With that said, you could also put food storage in your chieftain's hut, and you know they won't ever touch that because by default the chieftain's hut's blacklisted for all NPCs. They will never go in there and take your stuff. I think they will light your fire though. That is the one exception. I do believe that they are set up that fire keepers will keep your fire lit, which is like nice because having to do that yourself would be annoying. Alright, I need one more beam for the longhouse. Will the NPC stock storage even if they're not on the whitelist? No, they won't interact with the thing if they aren't allowed to do the thing. So if you block them from... If you, for instance, if I had like a dedicated onion storage only for me, I would have to also be the one to interact with it. Now what you can do is you can have that dedicated onion storage only have access to by the farmer. So the farmer may or may not eat the onion, but it's only one farmer eating the onion, not your entire village. So there are cases where, like, you might just forego the fact that, like, one person has access to it to supply it. And the reason to do that is if you do find your villagers eating, like, raw vegetables or fruits or meat, well, they shouldn't eat raw meat. But if they're eating raw vegetables or fruit in order to fill their nutrition, it's a bit of, like, an inefficiency waste. So removing them from the access of being able to touch raw food and only giving them access to the kitchen, you can remove that problem. Alright. I did notice that our hardwood logs were bad. So I'll just pull them up. Yep. Not that one, apparently. Just shove that one to the ground. So in this case, if I want my carpenter... if I want my carpenter to pull from this cart, I have to add them to the whitelist. Which might be nice, because I really only intend to make one beam, and then I'll leave this cart to restock the carpentry. So let's do that. So I was just talking about whitelist and blacklist. So if I go to the cart menu, the open the cart menu, I can say whitelist all villagers, and now they're all allowed to interact with the cart. Oh, you jerk. And as a result, they will be able to pull all these logs from the cart because there are no logs locally that they have access to. In this case, I can also just shove the logs into the local storage so that they can use it. Would another warehouse worker help with all those logs laying around? Yes. Which leads me to the whole, very soon we're going to have a population boon, and we can have a second warehouse worker help with that. It also looks like there is a broken axe head that I'll need to fix. So if I'm headed to grab thatch, I'm going to do it this way, where I'm going to deposit all of my tools that I use into my hut, only grab my axe and be holding my axe. So when holding my axe, it doesn't actually fill up inventory space. So I have a full inventory, because I don't actually like to haul I don't like to haul the cart out for thatch. It's just not an efficient way to get thatch, in my opinion. Oh, good place for that log. How'd you get it up there? Chop down a tree and try to crush a coworker. So now I have a completely full empty inventory ready for 20 thatch. Because carts don't... You can't run as fast with a cart. And although carts would double my inventory space, I don't want to be out here picking like 40 thatch. That's boring. Good to know there's a lot of Jotun blood, though. Because as soon as this is done, I'm gonna have you guys vote, but, I'm assuming you want me to grow the population. But you can vote against that if you really don't want me to, I suppose. No, actually, in hindsight, I'll probably be making at least another run for thatch, because I'm going to want to be adding 48 thatch worth of bedding, plus the 14 thatch that I need to actually build the shack. Oh, no, won't be 48, because it... No, it will be 48, yeah. So I'm going to be running out of here a bunch for thatch, for all the thatch beds that we're going to want for the new, longhouse. Oh, my I have Odin and my cart logo are overlapping one another. I was like, where'd the I have Odin logo go? Because that's how I usually run home. I do point out the Jotun blood out that way, yes. I have pointed that out. Okay, you guys can build it. Where's the meat, dude? Get cooking. I think my builder broke his hammer in the middle of building. I don't even have a hammer on me, so I wasn't able to physically do it. Alright, we're gonna lay this one out just like we did the last one. What does build last? L. There we go. It's just a little extra roof. It almost looks like it's supposed to be like that. So it's fireplace on the left, table on the right, food rack in the middle that we never use. Got it. Okay. I'm going to pin these, and before I start fetching more thatch, I will grab the Jotun blood. So that we can summon in some new people. reason I don't really like the cart for small items is you would then have to like fill your inventory, fill the cart, fill the inventory, fill the cart. It's kind of annoying, in my opinion. It's easy enough to just run the short distance multiple times. An emotional player, thank you for the resub, and you're welcome for all the videos. So in this case, I can grab enough blood shards to summon a villager, fill my inventory full of thatch, and then come out for more blood shards and fill my inventory for thatch, and it'll be fine. Because they fill different slots. Wow, there's a lot of blood shards out this way. More than I expected. Another thing that I have not taken advantage of, which I could, is to grow reeds. There's nothing really stopping me from adding another farm plot and just locally growing thatch that was added in as a patch a few weeks ago. Got 5 more spaces. And that will be at least 3 beds worth. That's a pretty good start for what we need to expand population. Are reeds around the... So, reeds only really grow lakes and ocean shoreline. So, I do have a lake close enough to the base that it's, like, fine to not grow reeds. But if in your game, reeds are, like, inconveniently far, now that you can just grow them yourself, it's a non-issue. Because before, like last month, there were no lakes and reeds couldn't be grown, which meant it was very inconvenient to base up anywhere that wasn't close to the shore. But things have changed, so it's far less of an issue now. So 3 beds, and you guys can pick which villager to summon. So here's the choices. We have got Torsten, who is an Archer, Winter Huntsman, Winter Resilience, or Brand, Nocturnal Resilience, Thirsty Giant. So an Archer or a Night person. How are we? Okay, nice. We're starting to stockpile beams. Good. Well, hardwood sticks are out of stock, though. So I think what I'll do is I'll change this back to stick collection. I could cart some, and I'll do a cart load just to help out carpentry, because I can fill it quick. It looks like you guys want Archer left. Torsten. Giveaway timer's up. Or raffle timer, rather. And good luck. And now that we have another one, should I add more people? It'll be up to you. The way all the trees are like falling over reminds me of like photos from the Tunguska explosion or something. Or like the aftermath of like a nuclear bomb test site or something. Just tree debris everywhere. Okay, I filled it. Oops. And it looks like you guys want even more pop. Oh, what we got here? Oh, a dead zombie that I never chopped up. Come on, man. Lift with your legs. I should just terraform ramps into this thing, so I stop running into this issue. Oh my god, I'm so stuck. I feel like I'm designing a new boy band dance move. Alright, yep, I had enough of this. So, path maker. Yoink. And get this pinned so they do it next. Go! Make me a path. Thank you. I like how they were just standing there, like, waiting. I feel like the villagers were watching me struggle. They're like, hey, look at our chieftain idiot. And how he doesn't know how hills work. Right you are. I am Captain Chieftain Idiot. Here you go. You're welcome. Alright, we'll get a stamina boost, and then I'll head back to the shoreline, grabbing thatch and Jotun blood. We'll just keep growing the pop. So in terms of reasonable things for them to physically do, and Glitch, thank you for the bits. I could use more militia. I did say that like 2 or 3 militia would be a good threshold for the invasion. I could use a miner, provided I actually provided a mining pick, which, you know, I'd need to make one. But I could have miner. There's some industries that we haven't done. I mean, we're in spring, so it's not urgent, but having a charcoal maker can be nice, because we have a lot of stumps around the base, and turning those stumps into just oodles and oodles and oodles of charcoal, so that I really don't ever have to manage the charcoal again myself. And then we'll have a lot of fuel for the winter, so that we don't have to run out and get cold. I don't want a blacksmith. I want to do the blacksmithing for myself, unless the population goes up enough that I can afford one. I guess I could try to do 2 blacksmiths on shifts that overlap. But I probably want to do the tool crafting myself, because I want the physical crafting skill bonuses so that I can make arms and armor. But yeah, I could do blacksmiths. I suppose that is an option. Keep an open mind. We'll analyze what they're good at and try to put them into roles that they can succeed at. That makes the most sense to me. Rather than forcing the villagers to be like a square peg in a round hole. Is there a way to speed up to skip winter? No. Time passes as determined by nothing the player can affect. Unlike other games like this. And we've got Eoven. You are the next villager. So in some games like Sengoku Dynasty, you can, or Bellwright, you can like force season changes, but not here. Every season's 7 days, and sleeping doesn't do anything. Doesn't force time to change or anything. Just gives you stamina buffs. like the sleep mechanic in this game as well. Torsten. Looks like you're good at cutting trees down and archery. Got it. My builders do need a new project because they're just sitting around twiddling their thumbs. So even though you guys didn't vote for it, planning ahead, I'm going to want a tier 2 hunter hut. So current priority is to expand population and build a tier 2 hunter. And a bunch of my thatch just immediately went to the supply for that. Alright, new guy. Where are you? Where'd you go? I probably need to get a new... so you are... Steadfast Resolve. Shrimpy Woodsman. Oh, you suck at cutting down trees. Storm Rider on Ease. Huntsman. And Bow. So you'd be best in... Taking a look at your proficiencies. You're Wood Harvest. So you're Shrimpy Woodsman, but you're best at that. So basically, I can assign you wherever I want. And it doesn't really matter. Got it. And let's make you not homeless. Okay, so I had 16... 19. So one more run of thatch, and I will have all the thatch I need for the rest of the beds. So where's the new guy? There he is. You are named... Guven? Thank you for tuning in to ASKA, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow villagers and warriors.